Beth said that she said
that Bryce said on the way back that he had a feeling that somebody was going to get arrested when he got back. He actually said the FBI. Cordelia actually did.
This is Michael LaFlex. He is 45 years old, and he is the father of a young woman named Cordelia. 2 days ago, Cordelia's boyfriend left with Michael to run a simple errand, a 10-minute trip to a storage unit a few blocks from home. But only one of them came back. He already has a story prepared, and on the surface, it sounds believable enough.
The SUV.
Okay, and Bryce was put in which one?
The gray car. Taurus looking.
And was there a cage in this car?
Not in the one I was in. It looked from the inside. It was plain Jane. It had a small in the center on the center console. It had a small looked like computer or something, but it was folded down.
But investigators are listening closely and already noticing the small details that do not quite add up. The truth is closer than anyone realizes, and Cordelia has no idea that the person she trusts most may also be the one she has the most reason to fear.
So you believe your dad that some people kidnapped him?
Yes. In personal honesty, Bryce is not the kind of man, I feel like, who could just be put in a position where someone's going to tell him to go away and he's going to disappear, or he cares about me. And
Oh, of course.
October 28th, 2022. Crow Wing County, Minnesota. It has been 2 days since anyone has heard from 23-year-old Bryce Brogle. His girlfriend, 19-year-old Cordelia LaFlex, has been texting him and calling him repeatedly, but she is not getting any response. As time passes, she can no longer convince herself that this is normal, and she eventually calls the sheriff's department to file a missing persons report.
Hi, I inquired previously about trying to find someone and I'm still not finding any information. I would like to file a missing persons report.
The story she tells deputies is brief. Bryce left Wednesday evening with her father, Michael, to unload a trailer at a storage unit nearby. It should have taken under an hour, but he never came home. There is no call, no message, and no explanation, only silence. Police don't waste any time, and that same day, they track down Michael and ask him to meet them at the storage unit, the last place Bryce was known to have been.
Checking to see, what these guys, if they left anything.
Yeah, it didn't happen here. We pulled out and it happened. That's what happened.
Yeah, and it's just basic missing person 101.
I get that. I figured when she had said, she said, she goes, Dad, I'm going to go file a missing person report. And I was the last one seen with him.
Yep.
And I said, okay. And so I figured sometime, if not today, tomorrow, you guys will be talking with me. So.
As they get into it, investigators pick up on something almost immediately. It isn't what Michael says about Bryce, it's how he says it. There is no worry or urgency in his voice.
If we could just start again with what happened.
So we came here, we unloaded, we pulled out.
And you're driving this
the white Escape with a U-Haul trailer. Yeah, they went to Arizona first. Somewhere, he wouldn't let us know where they were at. Somewhere in southern Arizona.
Yeah.
And then from there, they were there beginning of August, I think.
Okay.
And then they headed up to Washington, somewhere in Washington.
Okay.
Again, he wouldn't let us know. Cordelia said to me it was somewhere in a small town near Spokane. That's all I ever got of it.
Okay.
And they just came back.
And they got back on Wednesday?
Yes. We got back Wednesday, and
Do you know about what time they showed up?
5:15ish.
Okay.
At 5, I was putting laundry in. I was washing my sheets, so Cordelia got off my bed. She asked if she could stay with me while Bryce stayed somewhere else. And so I said, "Why don't
Did
you?"
they not get wrong? Or?
No. I don't care for him much.
Okay.
According to Michael, the two men drove to the storage unit, unloaded the trailer, and were pulling back out onto the road when two unmarked vehicles appeared with lights.
You drove right up here from the house.
Yes.
Unloaded. Well, how long did that take?
Oh, 45 minutes maybe. Maybe. Because he was looking at stuff and trying to figure out if he was going to keep something or take something. And I think there was one bag in there too, clothing bag or something.
Okay. And then you left here.
We left here.
And where did this interaction happen?
It happened just right out here. We got out, got this down, started to get up to speed, and the lights came on, and it happened right down here.
And you said you're not good with cars because you don't know what they were.
It wasn't, the one was a small, kind of like your size there,
Yeah.
or something that size. I tell you the truth, I didn't see what the make was of that one.
But there was lights on them?
No, there was
Emergency lights?
yeah, there was the ones that come up front. I didn't see anything up top,
Mhm.
but there was the ones that came on there, and then the car. Looked, it was kind of a dark gray, and it kind of looked like the new cars. And I said, yes, it is.
Which vehicle did you end up in?
The white one,
The white.
the white Ford Escape.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Bryce ended up in which one?
The dark gray, whatever it was.
He was driving the white.
Yeah,
Escape.
yes.
But which vehicle did you end up
Oh, the SUV.
Okay. And Bryce was put in which one?
The gray car, Taurus looking.
And was there a cage in this car?
Not in the one I was in. It looked from the inside. It was plain Jane. It had a small in the center on the center console. It had a small, looked like computer or something, but it was folded down.
It is a very specific story that sounds credible in its level of detail, yet it becomes noticeably vague in the places where real witnesses would normally be able to give clear answers. As investigators press him further, Michael's tone stays steady, but the way he frames Bryce and the situation begins to raise quiet questions of its own.
You know,
Did he say anything to you when Bryce?
No, he didn't. I mean, when we left here, he said thank you for your help, and that was it.
Did you guys have any other conversation?
No, I mean, I asked him on the way up here how the drive was. He said nice, decent. You know, it really, I didn't care to talk to him. I mean, most of the time we've ever talked, and I can show you messages where I've never, except for, you know, one time last spring, you know, I didn't see the bruises. My mother-in-law did, my daughter did. I just said, if I ever see another bruise on her, I said I won't be having words with you.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the end, but there's been so much conflict from his side, and I can show you messages where, and I didn't respond any bad way, but just.
Did Cordelia not want to come with, or what was the deal? How come she to come with?
Said she was smelly and stuff and needed to shower.
Okay.
He begins to float theories, speaking as if he is only trying to make sense of things from the outside, but his tone starts to feel uncertain.
She was coming back.
She called me. She called me Sunday and said, "Dad, I'm going to be back in a week or so." And I was like, "Oh, sweet." She said, "What's going on?" She says, "Well, things just fell apart out there." And then that was Sunday during the day, and then Monday she called me and she said, "Dad, we're coming home tonight." And I said, "What?" She says, "Yeah, we're leaving tonight. This thing's turned really bad and we gotta go." She knows.
Did she ever expand on why when you said things are blowing up out there?
No, she didn't. She did once they got back here, and after this went down, I went back because I thought she was going to be taken too. I figured when I got back to the house, she was going to be down.
So you're thinking there's just something bad that they got into out there?
Out in Washington, or I did hear the two when the guy was taking cuffs out of me. He did say Arizona. He did say the Arizona. So when I got home, I said, "What the hell happened?" I said, "What's going on?" I said something. I said, "Bryce has been arrested." I said, and they were saying Arizona. And she's like, "Dad, nothing." Well, then I did get out of her that the cops were called a couple times, but it was because she went to work with bruises on her face.
Do you think Bryce is involved in drugs at all?
I'm sure. Well, I know he's a hardcore pot smoker.
Okay.
And Cordelia smokes too.
And did he have a phone with him?
I didn't actually see it. I didn't actually see it.
You're just Cordelia's telling you
Yes.
he had two phones?
Cordelia had two phones. Because then Cordelia's got the one that was another thing. When they left here, he made her leave her cell phone that she always had for years here. So the smartphone, he's like, "We're not going to be tracked." So they bought flip phones.
Then, the investigators ask about Bryce's phone. They want to know if Bryce had it on him that day.
I don't want to see you get jammed up.
No.
I mean, was there anything to do with Bryce's phone today and you?
No, nothing, sir.
He says he does not have it. Investigators note the answer before moving on to ask about his movements after Bryce disappeared.
Yeah, I got home. We ran to Brainerd. I actually went back to my uncle up in Nisswa. Yeah.
On Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
After all this happened? Or?
Yes.
He gives a full account, calm and composed, like a man who has already thought through every detail. But 10 minutes later, detectives circle back to the phone, and this time, the answer is different.
Yep.
And you've never had his phone, never weren't in possession of it today?
It was in the vehicle.
Okay.
I took it. I did take it. And I just wanted my daughter to get away from him. I didn't want her to, keep after him, but that's just it.
It was in what vehicle?
It was in mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what'd you do with it?
I put it in the trash.
Okay. Where?
In Brandon.
Where in Brandon?
Holiday.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the dumpster?
Yes. No. In a garbage can.
Like in the gas?
Yes.
Which one?
I believe the center one. Yeah, the center one, the closest aisle. It was sitting on the center console, and I was scared, to tell you the truth. I was scared of the whole situation, and I wasn't sure. I was afraid, honestly, of somebody tracking it and coming after my daughter.
When did that happen? After he was taken?
Yeah. What? With me with the phone?
Yeah.
I had it.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm afraid. I told my daughter yesterday, I said, just wherever you're going, let me know. If you're going here, going there, I was afraid.
When did you drop it?
I dropped it tonight.
Okay, on the way to your sister's?
Yeah. Yeah. So I wasn't concerned about you guys. Actually, I think I dropped it before I knew she was even coming to see you guys.
Okay.
That admission changes the weight of everything. A man who watches a stranger get arrested and then secretly takes their phone and destroys it is not acting out of fear. Instead, he is acting out of calculation. Investigators are now looking at Michael differently, and so they turn to the one person who can offer them a second account of that evening, Cordelia.
What's yours and Bryce's relationship been?
Good.
Okay, any abuse or anything like that?
No, not really, no.
Not really?
So you guys decided to come back to Minnesota. Did you tell anybody?
There was less than 10 people that knew. It's weird because the men that took Bryce said something about that. They said something to my father about how there was an outstanding warrant in Arizona, and they mentioned something about Washington, which we didn't even know about the warrant.
Cordelia is cooperative. She answers everything. And as she does, her version of events begins to quietly pull Michael's apart.
He told me, two things he told me. First, that the woman in Washington who's pressing charges on Bryce due to property damage, he said that he convinced her not to press charges on me too, apparently. And then he also told me, yes, that he had possession of, I don't know if he said both phones or just one, but he said he had possession of a cell phone and that he was worried someone was tracking it and that they were going to get a hold of me or something too.
Then the officer asks her about that day. Cordelia calmly goes over what happened when they left for the storage unit.
So, a real serious question. What do you think happened? Honestly.
Real serious answer. I thought he was sitting at a police station somewhere.
But you know better now that that's not true.
Yeah, up until yesterday, that's what I still thought, and I was still waiting on a phone call just to hear. In all honesty, I don't even know now. It could be the mob or something that picked him up. I don't even know.
So you believe your dad that some people kidnapped him?
Yes. In personal honesty, Bryce is not the kind of man, I feel like, who could just be put in a position where someone's going to tell him to go away and he's going to disappear, or he cares about me. And,
Oh, of course.
and I have his dog. I have all his stuff. He left his wallet in the car at the time too and everything. And that had over $1,000 in it of what was our money.
So from our perspective, what do you think common sense kind of tells us?
That something shady is going on. That's how we all feel, is that something shady is going on right now.
Because he wouldn't just leave you.
No, he wouldn't just leave me. And of course the seed has been planted in my head that I'm questioning about my father as well, because...
The last one with him.
Yep. The only thing that came across as suspicious and a red flag in my mind is that Dad made a comment twice about me staying home and him and Bryce going and loading the trailer. That's what I was told. You want to stay here and shower and Bryce and I will go and load it? And he popped it the first time, and I don't think I really even said anything definitive or commented, but we got talking on something else, and then Bryce came in, and then he asked again, and that's what him and I agreed upon. I was like, okay, that's fine, you two can go and load the trailer and I'll stay here and I'll shower.
At first, it did not seem unusual. But the second time her father brought it up, it stood out more, and it was decided that she would stay behind while the two men went alone. What might have seemed like a small decision begins to carry more weight when viewed alongside everything else, as it reflects a choice that investigators cannot ignore. And when they later review Bryce's records, they find nothing to support Michael's account, and the version of events he described begins to fall apart. Investigators pull location data from Michael's phone and trace his movements the morning after Bryce disappeared. He leaves home before 5, returns to the storage unit, and later travels to a remote stretch of land near Lake Edward, where he remains for some time in the dark and alone. A search warrant then brings them inside the storage unit, where they find signs that suggest something serious took place on the concrete floor. From there, the investigation moves into the nearby woods as they continue following the path his data reveals.
It was like this, and then all these branches were broken off and put in it. Oh, so we gotta
tell them to go live and they can see what.
We'll probably need a probe of some sort. It looks like, so it's a sandy, previously dug area that they broke off branches and stuck them in the ground.
Fresh leaves on top.
And then fresh leaves on top. But it's,
this is probably animals.
We kind of dug down with their boots about 6 to 8 inches and don't see anything. But this is probably, it's really odd. Well, there's broken off big branches, medium-sized branches, and little branches that were broken off and stuck in the middle of it. It could be something like that, but somebody put a bunch of broken branches over the top and
fresh leaves.
Appears to be fresh leaves over the top, and it's kind of a sandy area where the rest of it around here.
Buried beneath a cover of broken branches and fresh leaves is 23-year-old Bryce Brogle. He has been shot once in the back of the head and placed in a shallow grave. Someone covered it carefully. It is October 30th, 2022, 4 days after Bryce left for a 10-minute errand and did not come home. Michael LaFlex was arrested and charged with first-degree premeditated murder, and his trial took place in 2024. The jury found him guilty on all counts, and he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Cordelia had described her father as her closest confidant and the person she spoke to more than anyone during the months she and Bryce spent traveling. She trusted him completely and had no reason to question him until that trust finally broke, and by then, it was already too late to bring Bryce home.